Alright guys, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff happening soon within Fortnite. The main thing here is the dig site event that we're going to be seeing that's obviously happening right now that will probably lead to a bunch of new stuff occurring in this game, potentially setting up the main theme for Season 8 and important huge events that we should be looking out for. This is going to be the beginning of that stuff. But before we go through that leaked information, those leaked images, and what items we're seeing from Season 4, Season 5 under these dig sites, which is pretty insane, I'm going to go through some stuff happening right now. I want to talk about a leak first that's going to be coming, and it's going to be a pretty cool LTM. It's the reverse gun game LTM. So all players start with the same powerful weapon. Eliminating a player grants a weapon of a slightly less power. The first to make it through every weapon from best to worst earns the victory royale. This is actually a really sick idea and probably could be one of the funnest LTMs they've actually added to the game so far. And here's another leak talking about the specifics of this LTM. So it seems like the reverse gun game LTM will be with games with a total of 20 players. That's very interesting. So the whole map is going to be 20 players. I don't know if it's going to start off in an already smaller location. Obviously, the zone's going to move in, and we're gonna obviously get to a point where you have to kill everyone. It's not just like a Call of Duty gun game where you're in a small map and you just go around. Or maybe it is just a set area where the zone's not coming in, and it's just, let's say, one game, it's in the tilted area, 20 people in tilted, that's it. 20 people in retail, that's it. So we'll see how they set it up. That's obviously gonna be pretty cool. I don't know, I really like this LTM idea, and hopefully it turns out to be a really sick LTM once it releases. Next thing here, and definitely let me know in the comment section below if you think this is going to be one of the best LTMs, because I just really like this LTM idea, and I'm glad it's actually going to be coming very soon. So let me know down below. Next thing here, before we talk about the dig site stuff, this is an update pretty much on the whole respawn situation. So here is the reboot card. This was probably leaked before as well, but it's just some update here. There's some interactive text with it. Collect a reboot card. It'll eventually despawn. It should drop when your squad mate dies, and this is obviously when they eventually add the whole respawning thing with Fortnite, which they're going to do eventually. Apex in that game, it works very well, and people like it, and top streamers, I mean, I know Ninja tweeted out, I'm pretty sure, or a bunch of other Fortnite Twitch streamers were tweeting that it's a good system. It would make sense, and it would definitely keep the game going. It would keep, players' interest in the game, and I don't know, it just would make sense to have it. And this is just one of the things that you'll see if, your player dies and you have to go pick that up and bring it to, what was it, the respawn van that was leaked in Fortnite, and then that's how you get your player back and your teammate back. So that's how all of that's going to work. So that's going to be pretty cool to see when that actually releases. So this is just what we're going to be seeing here. Just another little leak. Next thing here, let's finally go through the dig site stuff. So I don't know if it's been in the background gameplay, but obviously I'll be showing you guys some gameplay here about the dig sites that are happening within the game. There's going to be multiple locations and a lot of things going on with these dig sites. Now, the points of the dig sites, we're not so sure what the point is as of now. When they were first leaked a couple days ago, I made the video and people were saying this could be a precursor to a huge event with Dusty Divot being completely changed. We were talking about lava. There's another event, that Dopey event, if you guys recall. If you watched that video, definitely check that out. That's a good precursor video to, this video here. But, there's a whole thing with Dusty Divot potentially being destroyed by the lava, or something happening to Dusty Divot where it's no longer going to be Dusty Divot. But this is actually a bit different because the dig sites are going to be in different locations around the map, and there are going to be different locations around the map right now. So obviously Dusty Divot is the main focus, I would say. But there will be other dig site locations around the map as the days progress. I'm going to show you guys a leaked image up on screen here of what we're actually seeing in these different dig sites. This hasn't been uncovered yet, so hence a leaked image, but there's a bunch of stuff like old anchors, old shipping containers from the factories, and just a bunch of different old stuff, meteors from Season 5, Season 4. It's a little weird as to why that's happening, and this is actually, some of the items that are showing up here in these leaks, and these aren't probably all of the items. We're probably going to see other items as we get to these new dig sites, and I'll show you guys those new dig site locations in a second. Those those are other leaks, but we're pretty much probably going to be seeing items from all different seasons, maybe as far back as season 1, whatever items were around back then, we'll see in these dig sites. But what is the reason for that? Why is Fortnite this, weird entity? We don't know if it's the government. We don't know if it's some, evil power. We don't know if it's the Fire King. Like, why are they digging up different parts of the map and uncovering old stuff and old ruins, old items from these different past seasons? What is the purpose of that? What does that mean? We've seen stuff set up for the next season for a huge event, and season 7 we had some stuff with obviously the earthquakes that I feel like all made sense, and then before that with the ice storm, and I don't know, just the whole setup for the past couple seasons have been fairly predictable. This one though, this is a bit random, a bit weird. It has nothing to do with the volcano erupting that we've been talking about, or the ice biome or snowy biome melting. This is just a whole nother situation, so we'll theorize about that probably in a different video. Let me go through a bunch of the other leaks here. So again, these dig sites are not just going to be in, Dusty Divot and just random areas. It's going to be here. We have a leak. Let me show you guys. If you obviously go through the code, you'll see these dig sites are pretty much signified as like these white boxes under these locations. So one here is near Loot Lake, and you see there's a white box, and that is just pretty much means that there's going to be a dig site in that location. Another one here is going to be Greasy Grove, and apparently this white box has been here for a while. So they mean that there's going to be a dig site, but the fact that that's been there for a while is a bit weird, and maybe they've either been planning on doing this for a while, or it's just a coincidence that there's just a white box there, and then they just decide all of a sudden for season 8 to use these white boxes as like the Fortnite in-game thing that starts the command for the dig site to begin. I don't know how they code their game, but maybe that's what they did, and there just happens to be a white box there. But anyway, right now in these dig sites, we're pretty much just digging the dirt. It's the same thing with the whole ice situation. They had different icebergs the past couple, well, I guess just last season, where you just continuously break it, and then eventually it breaks and uncovers something. It's the same thing here to some extent. So just in a couple days, I don't think it's gonna matter how many people sit there and just break the dirt and dig up all the dirt. It's just gonna be in a couple days it'll activate, and it depends like how far is this gonna go. Is the deeper we're gonna go, the more we're gonna uncover different stuff, and the deeper we go, the more we uncover older items from older seasons. Is that how it's gonna work? How deep are we gonna go, and what is the point again of digging this deep and getting all of these items? I think if you want to look at simple reasonings as to why this could happen, they just want to bring back old LTMs, and bringing back these old items will just give them the ability to do that to some sense, some sort of nostalgia period where they start bringing back old stuff. And this could actually open the door to a bunch of things, maybe even huge possible changes to the map. So we can go from bringing back old LTMs from these different seasons, items that are related to these LTMs. Maybe if we find an old gun or an old trap that is hidden below one of the dig sites, and they bring it back all of a sudden, like, oh, we found it in the dig site, we're gonna bring it back, and then it's an actual gun that's added back to the game that was vaulted maybe just 8 or 10 months ago, like such a long time ago. Or we're going even further, and maybe what a lot of people want to see, not a complete, revamp of the map back to where it was at like season 3 or something, but maybe the return of old locations. If we start digging up these old parts of the old locations that were just, demolished or taken away or just completely replaced, maybe that means that since we're digging them up, they might actually come back. And I'm not saying that doesn't really sound logical if you're thinking about that in a real world sense, but maybe that's just Fortnite's way of bringing it back. I guess they want to make it so it's some sort of cool, unique event for them just to bring back, let's say, maybe a small portion of Moisty Mire or a small portion of Greasy Grove. Like, we find a sign in one of the dig sites for Greasy Grove, and then that leads to the hype of Greasy Grove returning, and then it does return in maybe some sense, maybe a portion of it or a half of it, who knows. And that's just a way for them to do that and bring it back to the game. So I think that would be really cool if that's what they're planning. If that's the point of these dig sites, then that'd be sick. But it probably isn't. It probably is related more to the storyline. I feel like that is still, it could be some sort of storyline element of season 8, digging up old items, digging up all this different stuff and uncovering different items and buildings and pieces of stuff from the past, and that's gonna bring and pave the way for new stuff. Well, not, I guess not new stuff, old stuff to return to the new map, whether that's guns or items or LTMs or whatever. That, I guess that is some sort of storyline thing, but I feel like it probably is not that. It's probably more of like the government trying to find weird stuff in the game, and then some weird stuff happens with the Fire King and the Ice King, and that drama continues to unfold. It's probably gonna be stuff like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and we'll just have to see what happens with all this stuff as the days progress in this season. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys later.